Be prepared. It's finally here. The weirdest night of your life is about to unfold, and what happens next is not meant for the unaware. The black moon has ripped the sky open. Forget everything you've been told about new moons being soft, subtle, or just a reset. This is not subtle. This is not gentle. Tonight is a rupture, a portal opening where the rules are bent and chaos slips through the cracks. This is not just a random new moon. This is a black moon. It's rare, unpredictable, and unapologetic. It doesn't play by the cycles you think you know. When the portal opens, it doesn't ask if you're ready. It pulls you in. And the most dangerous part? It's already affecting you right now, and you don't even realize it yet. The moment the black moon rose, the clock began ticking. This is a spiritual race against time. Every hour that passes under this black moon, the hidden clock advances. This portal won't remain open forever. It lingers for only a few days. That's why those who sense it, those who know how to pay attention, are already one step ahead. And the truth is, when the countdown ends, not everyone makes it through the same door. It's crucial for you to be aware of what's about to take place during this black moon portal, especially if you're sensitive to energetic shifts. Because the first thing this energy begins to mess with, your mind. During this black moon portal, intuition is on overdrive. It's like your inner radar suddenly starts picking up frequencies you didn't even know existed. You'll notice things you usually overlook, tiny loopholes in conversations, shortcuts in opportunities, even the hidden motives behind people's words and actions. For a moment, it feels like you're seeing through the noise and catching the patterns nobody else can. But here's the catch. The same heightened awareness that feels like a gift can quickly flip into a trap. When you see too much, you start doubting everything. That's the shadow side of this portal. Your mind may start running in circles, second-guessing what's real, and spinning in suspicion over things that probably don't even matter. It's like you're given X-ray vision, but if you stare too long, the lines blur. This is why the black moon is tricky. It doesn't just hand you clarity, it tests whether you can handle it without burning yourself out. Trust what feels right, but don't obsess over every single detail. Because the more you try to decode everything, the more the portal turns the mirror back on you. Most people are told that manifestation is about effort, visualizing, scripting, hustling your way into alignment. But under this black moon portal, that rulebook gets burned. The less you try, the more you gain. This is the paradox of the blackout manifestation. The ones who win right now aren't the ones grinding, pushing, or obsessing over outcomes. They're the ones who have the nerve to sit in the stillness, to let the darkness of the black moon surround them without fighting it. This isn't laziness, it's surrender. It's understanding that when the portal is open, the universe is rearranging the chessboard, whether you're moving the pieces or not. Think about it. How often do you cling to control because you're terrified of letting things unfold? That's the test here. Those who can actually sit with the silence, who can resist the urge to meddle, will find that reality itself starts to bend in their favor. Doors swing open, opportunities appear, people shift into place, not because you pushed, but because you didn't. But here's the twist. Most people can't handle this. They'll fidget, stress, and overthink themselves out of alignment, trying to force results when the portal is literally asking them to do nothing. And that's where they miss it. Sometimes the greatest move is refusing to move at all. The black moon doesn't reward the desperate. It rewards the ones bold enough to sit in the dark and trust that the unseen is already working for them. Here's something nobody tells you. The black moon has a sense of humor, and it's ruthless. Expect the universe to pull pranks on you in the next few days. Not to punish you, but to test how tightly you cling to certainty. The universe breaks your script, so you'll finally notice you're in a play. This is when you'll start seeing odd coincidences, like running into the exact person you didn't want to see, or watching plans fall apart only to stumble into something better by accident. Reversed fortunes, awkward timing, goofy slip-ups, these are all cosmic jokes designed not to frustrate you, but to loosen your grip on the illusion of control. The trick is how you respond. Do you panic when your carefully built plans collapse? Or do you laugh, realizing that maybe the universe just rerouted you to something wilder? Because here's the thing, if you fight the joke, you miss the punchline. But if you laugh with it, you catch the hidden blessing riding underneath the chaos. In fact, the funnier and stranger the coincidences become, the more you'll realize that the black moon isn't trying to trick you at all, it's showing you how fragile certainty really is. And when you no longer fear losing control, you start to move through this portal with freedom instead of resistance. So when the prank hits, don't get mad. Smile. Because behind every joke is a revelation, and the universe only teases those who are ready to wake up. Most people drift through life chasing potential. They collect ideas, dabble in passions, talk about someday and maybe later, and call it living. But this black moon portal doesn't care about your potential. It's dragging you, sometimes violently, toward your purpose. Potential is who you could be. Purpose is who you were born to be. And right now, the universe is removing your excuses. That dream you shelved years ago because it felt impossible, that passion you buried because it didn't fit the life you were told to live, that idea you delayed because you were scared of failing. The black moon portal shakes the dust off all of it and puts it back in your hands. This isn't about being inspired for a few days, writing a plan or journaling about intentions. No, the energy of this portal is blunt, direct, and unrelenting. It pushes you into situations where you either step into alignment with your true mission, or you feel the discomfort of knowing you're ignoring it. There's no middle ground anymore. That's why so many people feel restless right now, like they can't sit still in their own lives. Because the portal is pressing against every false layer of identity, stripping away the shoulds and maybes until only the real calling remains. And it's relentless. You can try to delay it, but the pressure will keep building until you answer. This is the moment where you're not just allowed, but forced to recognize what you're really here to do. Maybe it's creative, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's something so simple you've overlooked it. But whatever it is, it's rising to the surface now, demanding movement. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more someday. You're not being invited to plan, you're being dared to act. And the black moon doesn't care if you're ready. It only cares if you're willing. The truth is, nobody ever feels ready when they step into their purpose. That's what makes it a leap, not a hobby. So if you feel that pull tonight, don't run from it. Don't hide behind potential anymore. Because this portal isn't just opening a door, it's shoving you through it. And once you're on the other side, there's no turning back. The black moon doesn't just shift the sky, it rewires the body. And during this portal, you may find that your energy refuses to follow the usual rules. Some of you will sink into sleep so deep, it feels like you've been pulled into another dimension, waking up with fragments of vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life. Others won't sleep at all, wide awake until dawn, restless, buzzing with energy, yet somehow not crashing the next day. The black moon doesn't drain you, it rearranges you. That's why the normal patterns don't hold. You might lie down, expecting exhaustion, only to feel your mind switch on like a beacon. Or you may close your eyes and slip instantly into the kind of restorative stillness you've been chasing for years. Both extremes are signs of the same thing. The portal is recalibrating how your energy flows. This isn't random. Think of it like your internal wiring being reset. The energy isn't concerned with what's comfortable or predictable, it's breaking down the ruts you've been stuck in. If you've been overworking, it may knock you out, so you have no choice but to rest. If you've been stagnant, it may fill you with an intensity that refuses to let you sit still. Either way, it doesn't play by human schedules, it follows cosmic timing. And you'll notice the quality of this energy feels strange. Food might not affect you the same. Coffee might do nothing, or it might make you feel like you've stepped into another reality. Ordinary routines, sleeping, waking, working, suddenly feel unpredictable because your body is syncing with something much larger than itself. Energy is not lost or gained here, it is reassigned. So don't be surprised if your nights feel endless and your mornings feel unreal, or if the line between dream and waking blurs. These distortions are not flaws, they're signals. They mean the black moon has reached inside your system and flipped the settings. And the question becomes, what happens when you finally realize your energy isn't yours anymore, but part of something far bigger? The black moon doesn't sleep. It watches you while you do. And in that space between waking and not, it reaches through the cracks of your mind and begins to twist the architecture of your dreams. This isn't gentle, and it's not symbolic in the way most people imagine. These dreams aren't soft metaphors wrapped in fairy tale imagery. They're raw transmissions, warped and pulsing, with something your conscious mind can barely contain. They don't arrive with meaning, but with weight. You wake up drenched in the echo of something you can't explain, an image that won't leave you, a feeling that haunts your skin hours later, the unshakable sense that you just returned from somewhere. And no matter how strange the dream seems, some part of you knows it wasn't random. It was sent. It was aimed at you. These are not normal dreams. They bend logic, erase time, swap familiar faces into unfamiliar roles. They feel invasive, as though someone or something else was dreaming through you. People you haven't thought of in years are suddenly close again, acting out scenes that never happened but feel like they could have. You enter cities you've never been to, speak languages you don't know, hold conversations with versions of yourself that have lived entirely different lives. And still, when you wake, you're left with the eerie certainty that it mattered. That's the black moon's mark. It doesn't just give you a dream, it gives you a code disguised in chaos. And the more you try to decipher it with the waking mind, the more it slips through your fingers. Because the truth doesn't lie in interpretation. It lies in resonance, how it made you feel, what it stirred, what it pulled out of you without asking. And for some, it won't stop at one dream. The nights will stack on top of each other like overlapping scripts, storylines that evolve over multiple sleeps, recurring characters, repeating settings. The portal uses dreams like threads, stitching together messages over time until the pattern becomes too loud to ignore. What started as nonsense starts to take shape. What felt fragmented becomes a language. But don't expect understanding to come in words. These dreams aren't here to be decoded, they're here to rewire you. They bypass the ego entirely, slip past the filters, and deliver something ancient to the deepest part of your system. Sometimes it's a memory, Sometimes it's a warning. Sometimes it's a vision of what hasn't happened yet, but already exists somewhere in possibility. And the strange part is how collective it becomes. You'll find others having eerily similar dream textures, like their subconscious is tuned to the same frequency as yours. The imagery overlaps, the emotions match. Entire communities of souls quietly experiencing the same surreal downloads, none of them realizing they've walked through the same metaphysical corridors until the conversation reveals it. That's when it clicks. The portal doesn't just target individuals, it broadcasts. What edge were you about to cross? What version of you is trying to speak from the other side of the veil? What truth have you been hiding from in daylight that could only be delivered under the safety of sleep? Because that's the Black Moon's genius. It knows when your conscious defenses are too strong, so it waits until your mind lets go. Then it delivers. Not with permission, but with precision. And once that seed is planted, it doesn't matter if you understand it right away. It grows. So tonight, as you drift off, know this: you are not going to sleep. You are entering a transmission. What happens there may not make sense in the morning, but it will change you. And eventually, without knowing how, you'll wake up someone else. You'll find yourself standing up in the middle of a lazy moment, walking straight into a task you've avoided for weeks, not because you forced yourself to do it, but because something called you to it. And for once, there was no resistance, no struggle. The task unfolds like it's been waiting to happen the entire time, like the universe had it stashed in its back pocket, just waiting for the portal to tilt the timeline. It's disorienting at first. Things you thought would take hours begin falling into place in minutes. Mental blocks disappear like fog, burned off by the sun. Conversations that should have been awkward slip into flow like they've already happened in another reality. You're not getting smarter, you're not getting stronger, you're tapping into something that exists outside your normal rhythm. Something that's always been just beyond your reach, until now. And it feels like cheating. Like reality is suddenly giving you shortcuts, not because you asked for them, but because the rules that usually hold you back have momentarily collapsed. The gatekeepers are asleep. The resistance is silent. And in that strange silence, you move not faster but cleaner. You're not pushing water uphill anymore. You're swimming in a current that knows exactly where you're going, even if you don't. But you have to catch it while it's real, because this isn't permanent. This isn't a new baseline. It's a ripple in the code, a brief window of clarity that only opens when the Black Moon is closest to the bones of reality. And once it's gone, the old friction returns. The noise creeps back in. That window? Closed. That's why hesitation is the killer here. If you wait for motivation, you'll miss the door entirely. Because this isn't about hype or planning or preparation. This is about recognizing the moment you're inside a strange slipstream and deciding not to second-guess it. You follow the pull even if it doesn't make sense, especially if it doesn't make sense. And it won't just be your to-do list that feels the shift. This portal can move things deeper, things buried under years of fear, confusion, or avoidance. That conversation you couldn't bring yourself to have might suddenly unfold without a single word rehearsed. That project you shelved for being too complicated might suddenly pour out of you in a form better than you ever imagined. It's not because you changed. It's because the wall that kept you from doing it is, for now, gone. This is the void working in your favor, clearing a path not through your effort, but through its own design. And all it asks is that you recognize the invitation before it vanishes. Not every door stays open. Some open once, and if you blink, they're gone. This is one of them. You can step through now, or spend the next few weeks wondering why it all felt so close, and then slipped away. And the strangest part, you'll look back and wonder how it ever felt hard in the first place. The black moon doesn't scream, it whispers, and that's the trap. Everyone's waiting for lightning in the sky, for thunder in the soul, for something loud enough to convince them that yes, this moment matters. But that's not how the portal speaks. It doesn't barge in. It circles you. It brushes past you just enough for your skin to feel something shift, and then it waits to see if you'll follow the scent. Right now, reality is pulsing with hidden threads. You pass by them without noticing, but they're there, tugging at the corner of your awareness like static in the background of a silent room. You feel drawn to a word, a number, a memory, a sound you can't explain. You find yourself thinking of someone you haven't seen in years, and then somehow, they show up. You walk into a room and forget why you entered, but the feeling doesn't leave. It lingers, and that lingering, that's not confusion. That's alignment trying to find a doorway. The messages aren't arriving with banners and flashing lights. They're showing up as repetitions, overlaps, things that don't make sense until they echo 3, 4, 5 times. And then you pause, and then it hits. The universe wasn't silent, you just weren't listening closely enough. But that's what the black moon does. It pulls your attention away from the noise you're addicted to and drops it into the silence you usually avoid. And in that silence, the symbols start dancing. A phrase overheard, a lyric repeated, a line in a movie that lands too perfectly, the exact sentence you needed appearing from a stranger's mouth like it was crafted for you. You don't have to chase these messages, you just have to stop brushing them off. Because the portal isn't sending them for decoration, it's trying to guide you through a maze you didn't know you were in. And the more you ignore it, the harder it becomes to recognize when the door finally appears. The most powerful messages under this portal are the ones your rational mind will try to erase. That's why it's so dangerous to rely on logic right now. Logic filters the signs out. It tells you the feeling is random, the moment is meaningless, the repetition is coincidence. But intuition remembers what logic forgets. Intuition notices the tiny shift in the air, the flicker in someone's eyes, the goosebumps that rise for no visible reason. And when the message finally reaches you, really reaches you, it won't just make sense. It'll stop you. It'll land with that strange weight that settles in your chest like a memory you never had, like something old and sacred just remembered your name. That's how you know it's real. Not because it makes sense on paper, but because it bypasses your thoughts and hits your body like a bell ringing somewhere deep in the marrow. The portal isn't delivering instruction manuals, it's dropping codes, pieces, fragments, half-remembered truths hidden in plain sight. And you're not meant to decode it all at once. You're meant to follow the trail without knowing where it leads, to trust the pattern before the picture appears. And if you do, you'll realize the messages were never hiding. They were waiting for the one person brave enough to see what others dismiss. Waiting for the one person willing to see with more than just their eyes. Because the signs weren't random. They were written for you. And now that you've noticed, they won't stop. Everything around you is starting to look the same, because it isn't real anymore. That eerie feeling you get during this black moon isn't just in your head. It's the world itself, thinning, peeling back its layers, as if the surface reality is struggling to hold its shape. Everyday life suddenly feels like a stage play that's running too long, and you can see the cracks in the scenery. The walls don't feel as solid. The conversations don't feel as genuine. It's as if society is running on a script, and you've just caught a glimpse of the teleprompter. What makes this even stranger is the contrast. While the constructed parts of life start to feel hollow and repetitive, nature itself becomes sharper, more alive, almost more real than ever. The wind feels heavier, the sky feels deeper, and even silence carries a weight you can't ignore. This is the black moon pulling back the curtain, showing you that not everything you take for granted is as solid as it looks. The portal highlights the difference between what's living and what's just pretending, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. So, as the hours pass, pay close attention. Watch for words that repeat themselves like echoes, objects or events that seem out of place, and even people who suddenly don't feel like the same person you thought you knew. Because once the veil peels back, reality doesn't stitch itself together again, it stays torn. Fear is always loudest right before everything changes. And this black moon, it's been misunderstood from the beginning, feared, labeled, twisted into a symbol of chaos, misfortune, and warning. People see the words black moon and assume the worst, like it's a bad omen or a spiritual threat just waiting to swallow the light. But that fear doesn't come from truth. It comes from not understanding what this moon really is. Yes, it's rare. Yes, it's intense. But it's not here to destroy you. It's here to expose you to yourself, your patterns, your fears, and your power. That makes people uncomfortable. That makes people run. But the discomfort isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's a sign that something big is shifting. There's a reason this moon carries weight. It's not here to coddle you. It's here to test what you've outgrown. And when something unfamiliar shows up, something that doesn't fit the normal rhythm of things, the human instinct is to brace for the worst. But this energy isn't here to punish you. It's here to wake you up. And that awakening doesn't mean everything will feel easy or soft. The black moon has both edges. It can bring clarity and confusion, expansion and collapse, alignment and disruption. It's both. It has to be. Because real change doesn't come from peace, it comes from pressure. It's what you do with that pressure that defines your outcome. Most people will only see the discomfort and label it negative. They'll say this moon brings bad luck, bad feelings, bad timing, but they're only telling half the story. The other half, the part most never notice, is that this moon also brings a chance, a rare opening, a mirror, a key, and you're already ahead of the curve. You've just walked through the storm with your eyes open. You're not stumbling in the dark like everyone else. You know what's happening now. You've seen the signs, felt the shift, and heard the truth behind the fear. That awareness is your anchor. That insight is your shield, and it will carry you through the strange days ahead without falling for the illusions or mistaking discomfort for danger. So yes, this portal will stretch you. Yes, it may shake things loose, but you won't be caught off guard. You'll move with it, navigate it, use it, because now you know the truth. This black moon doesn't signal the end. It marks the moment everything changes, and it's already begun. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.